What up, beautiful babies? It's week 4 Madden Curse. We're going to do matchups. Let's take a look at the first one. We've got myself versus Fat. I am 1 and 2, and Fat is 2 and 1. Uh, projections are both at 115. Don't really matter because Fat doesn't have a kicker, and I don't have a kicker or defense currently. But having reviewed the matchups, I like my chances. I like what I got. I like who my guys are playing. Goff versus Seattle, Taylor versus Tennessee, Leonard Fournette versus Kansas City, Sutton versus the Raiders, Amon-Ra versus Seattle. It's going to be a beautiful stack. I'm going to pick myself over Fat. He's got Joe Burrow going up against Miami. He's got Austin Eckler and Saquon. Eckler's going versus Houston. Saquon versus Chicago. Marquise Brown, he's probably going to light it up. He's playing Carolina. But who knows if Joe Horn's guarding him? Nothing. Nothing. Um, Christian Kirk, stud. Gerald Everett as well with Lockett in the flex. I like my matchup so much that I'm going to make myself the lock. And it's not because I'm 1 and 2, and this is a must win. And if I don't make myself the lock, I don't have that extra pressure. It has nothing to do with that. I just like the matchups. Lando equals locks. We're gonna shoot for four out of four there. Um, the next matchup is Scott and JT. JT's been on a little bit of a hot streak. He took a L from me week 1. Since then, he's 2 and 0. I think he's going to keep it up. I think he's going to win this matchup. He's 2 and 1 right now. Scott's 1 and 2. On JT's side, he's got Herbert, currently starting Jamal Williams as DeAndre Swift is hurt. Tony Pollard, Cooper Kupp, Curtis Samuel, who's been lighting it up. Travis Kelce flexing Josh Jacobs versus Scott's team. Allen, McCaffrey, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, DK Metcalf, Amari Cooper, and Irv Smith Jr. Keenan Allen's currently in the flex. He might have to get taken out. Scott, you got to keep an eye on this now because you let him play last week. It didn't matter. You didn't have anyone that would have. You could have subbed to win, but still, we want to keep an eye on that guy. So check your injuries. But in this matchup, I like JT. I like him to go 3 and 1 and not be at the bottom of the league for the first time ever. This is the first time he's had a winning record, um, probably. So congrats, buddy. Um, Matchup 3, we've got Jordan versus Dan. Jordan's 2 and 1. Dan's 1 and 2. Got his first win off of me. You're welcome. Jordan's whole team is Lamar Jackson and some other guys. I do think that's going to be enough this week, though. Lamar, he's got Bateman in the lineup. We'll see if that sticks. Mike Williams, Michael Pittman, Aaron Jones, Najee Harris. Yeah, I like him in this one. Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson are going against New Orleans. A little bit of a tough matchup. CeeDee Lamb versus Washington could be a big one. Um, Gabe Davis versus Baltimore. Stevenson, Ramondre versus the Packers. David Pierce versus the Chargers. So, yeah, I just like Jordan a little bit better in this one, so I'm going to go with him. Um, but he is team bed pooper, so Dan, go ahead and prove me wrong. Ooh, now this is the matchup of the week to me. 3 and 0 versus 0 and 3. Mr. Troublefield, previous champion, he won in our inaugural season of the Madden Curse. 3 and 0 going up against Alex's Let's Ride team. 0 and 3. Alex has been 0 and 4 before. And I may be wrong, but he might have made the playoffs that year. Alex, you're not going to watch this, but if you do, let me know if you made the playoffs that year. Um, I think this is going to happen again. I think Alex is going to be 0-4, and Brent is going to move on to 4-0 and still undefeated. That's my projections. I like Mahomes has a bit of a tough matchup with Tampa Bay. Tyreek and Jalen Waddle versus Cincinnati. Kareem Hunt versus Atlanta. Derrick Henry versus the Colts. And then currently flexing Devontae Smith versus the Jags. And then Mark Andrews at Buffalo. Some tough matchups, but I still think he'll be able to pull it out. Alex is starting Russell Wilson, who I saw on a lot of lists as a possible drop candidate at the quarterback position. Not really doing um, What was his contract? It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. Geno Smith looking pretty good right now. Is all I'm saying. Dalvin Cook, he's questionable. I'm gonna just say it. He's not gonna play. He's not gonna play, and he should have probably traded for Madison. Probably is what he should have done. But yeah, Cook is questionable. He's got shoulder injury, so we'll see if he makes it. Chubb is in the lineup. Auto start. Brandon Cooks, Ayuk, Kyle Pitts, James Conner. Uh, Alex did pick up David Njoku with his top waiver wire option, so maybe he's not happy with Kyle Pitts. Maybe he wants to flex Njoku and go tight end crazy. Who knows? Um, Either way, Alex, I got you being 0 and 4, and it might be hard to stay out of that 12 spot on the rankings if you do make it to 0 and 4. We're just gonna go ahead and put that out there. The next matchup, Frank and Marshall. 2-1, two 2-1 teams. This is the real matchup of the week. I was kidding on the 3-0 and 0-3. Brent, you're gonna beat his butt. Um, this matchup here I do like, and I like Marshall to win it in a close one. Apologies, Frank, but Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown versus the Jags. Then he's got James Robinson in that same game. Alvin Kamara versus the Vikings hasn't done a ton, so looking to break out. That's 9:30 a.m. by the way. There's London games, guys. Check your lineups. Check them. Check them the night before. Wake up early. Check them again, man. You never know what can happen. I had Melvin Gordon starting in a London game. I checked the lineup the night before. The morning of, he gets freaking knocked out of the game during practice. I missed it. I had a 0 in that spot. So check it out. London's weird. The games start at 9:30 a.m. It's not that early. Um, Frank doesn't have any London players that I see. Oh, Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas. Stephon Diggs. They're both questionable. Diggs is the man. If he's playing, Frank's gonna put up a lot of points. He's got Joe Mixon, Devin Singletary, Matt Stafford going up against the Niners. DJ Moore is currently in his flex. I would not be surprised if I see him get benched. DJ Moore has had a really tough start to the season. Um, Having said that, I like I like Marshall in this matchup, so I'm going to go ahead and pick him to win and go to our last matchup here. Trent T T. ESPN still shows your name as Trenton in here. We might need to make some adjustments there, sir. Versus Jason Harless. Let's see. I'm going to pick Jason in this matchup. He did get a victory last week. I've said it before. I think Jason has a pretty good team. I won't ever tell him that, and he'll never know it because he'll never listen to this. But I do think he has a pretty good team on paper. Um, I do like Kyler Murray versus Carolina. It's probably going to be a lot of points there. He's got Zach Ertz, Miles Sanders versus the Jags, Antonio Gibson versus Dallas, Devontae Adams versus the Broncos, Terry McLaurin versus um, Dallas, and then Javonte Williams versus the Raiders on T's side. Derek Carr versus Denver. He's got DeAndre Swift in the starting lineup, who is currently questionable. They said he's week to week, so odds are he's not playing. Jeff Wilson is still in the lineup, healthy. Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, T.J. Hockenson, Deontay Johnson. Um, Not really many other options here for Young T. He's got Kenyon Drake is really his only sub there at running back, so they need to shore that up. And that's another reason I'm going to go with Jason in that one. I just think he's got a little more flexibility there. That's the matchups for the week. I'll post them in the chat. Y'all be sexy. Stay sexy. You already are sexy.